Hello, everyone. Welcome to SONIQLOOX Conversations. My name is Danny, and this is our video interview series built around real, unfiltered dialogue with artists about their work, their process, and the lives they are living alongside their music. These are not promotional sound bites, they're not rapid fire press hits. Each conversation is designed to feel human, present, and open ended, creating space for artists to speak in their own cadence and on their own terms. Today, we're joined by Tobin, who was raised in the New Jersey shore but is now based in Nashville. He's an alt-folk songwriter drawn to stories that live in the gray. I love that term. We're going to get back to that. His songs pull from Jersey rock, Irish folk, and American roots, but are anchored by a deep focus on empathy, lived experience, and unanswered questions. Sean, thanks for taking some time to chat with us here at SONIQLOOX.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, I gotta know, and I mentioned it just now. We're just gonna get right into the gray questions. You wrote in your written interview that you did with us that you're trying to come to terms with the gray. Now, I love the phrase "the gray." I think I've lived my whole life in the gray. What does that mean to you?
It means the middle ground. It means, I don't think that anything, and this is cliche, obviously, but anything is black and white. I think that everything is gray. I think that right and wrong and good and bad and all of these polar opposites don't exist in their own right. There's always a combination of the two, and it's just trying to find the beauty where they're combined. Where they're combined.
Yeah, completely understand. I mean, like I said, I feel like I've lived my life in gray between wanting to do stuff, but being pulled back from it and having to make sense of that, and where I live in between those two polar opposites, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone does, right?
Yeah, I tend to think so. Some people, I think, live more in the black and white, which I guess works for them. But yeah, I think it's the gray. There is beauty in the gray.
Yeah, I think it's where the good stuff happens.
Yeah.
I mean, where the beautiful stuff happens.
Yeah. Well, when you're not writing or performing, what does a normal day look for you right now?
So so when I was talking to you about scheduling this interview, I work as a merchandise manager for touring bands.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm a roadie technically. So I've been going out with numerous country acts out of Nashville for the last 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years.
Okay.
And so that means I'm usually on the road Wednesday through Sunday morning, and then
Wow.
hanging out in Nashville Sunday night through Wednesday afternoon.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and that in between is when I write and record and do that kind of stuff. So busy life, but it's one that does not get boring. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I can imagine. Now, do you ever, when you're on the road and you're with the touring manager for these other musicians and bands, do you ever just want to jump up on stage with them or instead of them? It's like, get me up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
Okay,
mean,
go.
I never want to steal anyone's thunder, but as an entertainer, where it's like putting a Labrador Retriever next to a body of water. It's like they just want to jump in. So
Yeah.
yeah, I totally get that urge, but that's why I wanted to be in this industry anyways, just because I just want to be there. I just want to be where the music's happening and where the party is really. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of my shtick. So and I have gotten the opportunity to I was out on the road with Chase Rice for the last 2 years, and he had me open for a few of his
Oh,
shows,
cool. Okay.
by the kindness of his own heart. So the opportunities have been there. It's been a different route than a lot of people have told me to go, but it's been a worthwhile one. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's really cool. I mean, it's also a lot of, I don't want to say experience, but it is experience just being out on the road. I mean, you get to shape, I guess, what you want your performances and experience to be like based upon, I'm sure, what you've noticed other people do.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, for better or for worse, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I love being a roadie. It's the grittiest of the gritty, really. You're like pirates in these little submarine buses, man. Just like show up in the morning, leave in the dark of night. It's pretty crazy.
Like pirates, yes. Now, I'm just gonna jump off course here a little bit. I noticed on some of your TikTok channel that you take requests for song prompts and you
Yeah.
make music off of that. Uh, I want to hear one about now about being a pirate in this in the roadie life. I want to hear that. So I'm going to challenge you for that. We'll see what happens later on with that. Um, but while you're out there performing, you played everywhere from shore bars to street corners to songwriters' rooms. How do you know when the audience and room is actually listening?
When I can hear my own thoughts. What so and I mean when the room is full and I can hear my own thoughts. There have
Yeah.
been quiet rooms with maybe just me and the bartender where
Uh,
I can definitely hear my own thoughts. Um, but I can tell the room is listening when I start to get nervous. Like when I
mm,
start to realize like, oh, folks aren't, you know, just dancing and jumping up and down. Like folks are hung on every word right now. So
mhm.
first of all, I better remember all my words. Um, it has happened where like I'll stumble over a lyric and people will be like, "Oh, you forgot that word," and I'm like, "See, this is the problem when when people start memorizing my lyrics better than me." Um, but yeah, I can tell then and then in retrospect when I'm at my own merch table at the end of the night and people are coming up and asking me questions about the songs. That's the coolest
Ooh,
part about things,
yeah,
is and telling me how these songs relate to their lives and how they've affected them. Because that's all you can hope for out of being a songwriter is to make an impact, a positive one on people's lives. So
absolutely, absolutely. I can't agree more with that. I mean, it's listening to one of your latest album last night, Seasick, and I truly appreciate the description or definition you put for seasick on there, where it's missing the sea as opposed to getting seasick, because that's the much better alternative. So
yeah,
I truly appreciate that definition because I'm from the coastal town. I'm from San Diego, but I live in Las Vegas now, and I'm seasick all the time.
yeah, yeah. Right. Once you get that taste of it, right?
Right.
Especially if you're raised by it,
Yeah.
it's hard to describe to people who, I've met people in my adult life who have never seen the ocean, and I just can't
That's
imagine.
I
I
know that's
cannot
insane.
imagine. Yeah, right, exactly. And I mean, the Great Lakes have it too. That horizon line of just vast ether,
Hmm.
salt air, and all that goes with it. Um, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, I took the definition for homesick and kind of just
I like it.
switched it out with sea.
Yeah, and it works great.
It fits. Yeah, especially when I moved to Nashville. It was the first time in my life I've been landlocked,
Oh,
and it was a transition.
yeah, yeah. I can imagine. Same here. I mean, it's is there a difference, would you say, between East Coast songwriters writing about or living along the sea and West Coast songwriters? Because I listen to a lot of like Chris Isaac, where a lot of Baja sessions and a lot of West Coast um ocean type music. Do you think there's a difference in that?
I do. I think that the immigrant cultures are different. There's a
Okay.
different influence on where that music is coming from. So I think that in the Northeast, especially, you have the Irish influence, that more bluegrassy folk influence that I think actually led to like the Northeast punk movement and
Hmm.
all that came with that rock and roll. And then I think West Coast, you have more of that, Mexicali, even some Native American influence there.
It's very true.
And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm out with the band right now that they're from San Diego, I want to say, Wieland Brothers, and they have like such a sublime sound,
Okay.
like that
Yeah.
real, like reggae,
Yeah.
like kind of hip hop meets beach rock sound, which I love Sublime growing up,
Hmm.
but it's different. You couldn't make that. I guess you could. It wouldn't be authentic coming from New York City.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, one of the things you mentioned in your interview is about when you're putting together the song list for each of your albums, and it's you want to tell a story, so it's the way you layer them. Does the same thing go into when you're building the set list for a live performance?
Yeah, I put way too much thought into set lists, man. I spend more of my life making set lists than I should, I think. Um, and even still, when I'm making the set list, when I'm making a track list, I try to build it the way a novel would be written in terms of, peaks and valleys. I always want there to be a climax. I want there to be a resolution, and I would do that the same way with my shows. But at the same time, my band will attest to this. My set lists are never true to form. Like I will call songs that are not on the set list. I will cut songs. I will cut songs short. I will extend songs in ways that we've never played them. So I keep things organic, for better or for worse.
Keep
You
them
know,
alive. Yeah,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
like it. Well, you said you're in Nashville now, and Nashville really, you mentioned, and there's a lot of great songwriters there, so it really upped your game there, and well, forced you to up your game. Now, how do you protect, I guess, your essence and your true to yourself authenticity while you're trying to stay productive and produce more there in the city?
It's a good question. I would say that returning to my roots, I go back to New Jersey probably once a quarter,
Okay.
just to see family. Um, and again, like I'm on the road so much that even though I'm in Nashville and I'm writing and doing the thing, uh, I'm I'm so transient
Mm-hmm.
that even though I'm here, I'm not. But in terms of staying authentic, I don't, knock on wood, man, I don't really have a problem with that. Um,
Okay,
it's been a long journey of figuring out who I am, but I've got a pretty good finger on the pulse now.
that's good.
And I have a lot of practices that keep me grounded in that.
Very cool. I really enjoyed your answer about how you can see the different layers of your life from through your songwriting
Yeah.
of where you're at in your life when you wrote that song, and it's a good way to look back and measure how you've grown and how you've just where you've been. So I guess my question for you now is how do you are there any songs that feel different to perform now than when you first wrote them?
Yeah. I mean, every song. So the crazy thing about songwriting is that I will write a song and it'll be finished and it won't be another year until I record it. Right.
Okay.
And then it'll be another year from the time that I record it to when it's released. So by the time it's released, I'm a completely different person than I was when I sat down and wrote that song.
Uh-huh.
So by the time it's released and I'm actually performing it, I'm another person. So every time one of those life changes happens, the song takes on a different meaning. The same way it would for a listener. When you're listening to a song that was your favorite in high school as a 30-year-old person, like
Yeah.
it's not going to mean the same. You might have that nostalgic feeling that feels similar, feels familiar, but you're not the same person,
Right.
you know?
Right. Absolutely. Now, when you walk off stage after a performance and you're done with your encores and whatnot, um,
If only.
if only, what 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 makes it a good night? What tells you that it mattered?
I can tell when the crowd is in it. Um, and the crowd can tell that the crowd is in it. Like there are shows where I know I have to win the crowd over, and there are other shows where I know that I've got them in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that I'm like, we could go for 4 hours,
Ah, okay. Hmm.
like I could just turn it on and never stop. When I feel like I'm having to exert myself. Every show is a give and take of energy, right? Like I'm giving everything I've got. If the crowd gives it back, I'll keep going. It's
Yeah.
just like a circuit that way. But if I'm giving and it's just me and the bartender, like I said before, odds are I'm going to be a little drained at the end of the night, and I can feel that. I can physically feel that.
Yeah.
If the adrenaline's high, I know it was a good show.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, you have enough material to go 4 hours?
I do. It's crazy.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
insane.
I can't say it would be a good 4 hours, um, but I could do it. I've done 3 hour sets of purely original music. Um, Most recently, this past November, I did an acoustic show. That was 3 hours. I took like a 20-minute break to go sell some merch to people who might have to get on the road and that kind of thing. But then I hopped back up, and that was the longest I've done of all original.
Wow, that's to be able to memorize that much material. I mean, it's not just the lyrics, it's the your guitar play. It's just mind-boggling to me.
Well, it helps if you only write songs with the same five chords.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess, but still, that's a lot of lyrics. Like, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, they used to put poetry to music because it makes it easier to remember.
Yeah,
That's where song comes from.
that's
Song,
true.
it's music and lyrics. Melody just makes things, I don't know, makes things more palpable.
There you go. What's something about you that people would never guess just from listening to your music?
Mm, there's a lot. Just listening to my music.
We could go 3 hours. Let's go.
Yeah, for real. I don't know, man. I'm a big cook. Like I love cooking. Um, so, I've got a massive family. Most people, some people might be able to put two and two together based on the different characters that are in my songs. My big Irish Catholic family has played a lot of influence in terms of plots that I fictionalize and things like that. Some that I don't. I've written songs for my grandparents and my parents. But yeah, things like that. I'm the oldest of four, and there's a lot of people that went into the making of Sean Tobin.
Right on. So you're saying your granddad was a liberal, though, right?
Oh yeah, my grandpa Jack, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny, man. That song blew up, and I just wrote it because I've got so many conservative friends who kept throwing that word around like it was some kind of slur, and I was
Hmm.
like, "You guys know
Hmm.
what this means? Like, it's the same suffix or prefix as liberty, like Sons of Liberty, Statue of
Right.
Liberty. Like, it's wild to me and dangerous, really,
Yeah,
when you start, yeah, defaming words that have a true and honest meaning.
that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That is very true. I thought the song was very catchy. So,
Thanks.
but it is true. There is a deeper meaning there. I mean, it is really, like you said, liberal liberty. I like that. That's awesome. Is there any habits or quirks that sneak into your songs, whether you want it to or not?
Um, yeah, well, I'm big on Irish folk, and something that comes with Irish culture, for better or for worse, are drinking songs.
Okay.
And I tend to get in these modes sometimes where I just end up writing a drinking song, even if I'm not much of I am a drinker, but I'm not like a drinker the way
Hmm.
I used to be, the way that some people are. Like, I like having a good time. I also don't want to condone like alcoholism or like leaving your wife and kids to go have a few more pints with the lads. So things like that, like kind of often immoral things that would get a chuckle. I'm trying to be more conscious of the way
Okay,
I write that way. Yeah.
I got you. Well, when you're having a really good day, a really great day, what does it actually look like for you?
Nothing to do.
Oh,
Nothing on
okay,
the.
okay.
I like having And it's funny because I am a routine based person. Like I need structure in order to function. I give myself schedules. I use my calendar religiously. But if I have absolutely nothing to do, and especially if it's like a nice summer day and I'm near a beach, like I will sunrise to sundown be sitting on that beach doing nothing. And that's ideal for me.
One fine day right there. Absolutely. Well, Sean, if people want to stay in touch with you and hear more of your music or follow your journey on social media, where's the best place for them to find you?
I'm at Sean Tobin Official on all socials, all one word, obviously, and SeanTobinMusic.com. That's my website. You can get to everything from there. My music, my socials, my probably banking information. So check it out.
Well, yes, your blood type, your everything.
Social Security's there. Yeah, I keep it all listed. So check it out. Yep.
Sean, thank you seriously for hanging out with us and talking with us today. We really appreciate it. And to everyone out there, thanks for watching, for spending some time here with us. Go follow Sean and enjoy his music. Sean, thank you again.
Thanks for having me, man. This is great.